Want to share this special moment with you. Let's think about this. A 10-time NBA All-Star, 3-time Olympic Gold Medalist, 2-time USA Male Basketball Athlete of the Year, but you already know all about that. So let's say hello to Carmelo Anthony. All right. Melo, welcome to AT&T, my man. Looking sharp and dapper as ever. Let's get right into the AT&T time machine and take it back 22 years ago, 2003. You're no stranger to this environment. As a member of the Syracuse Orangemen under the tutelage of the great Jim Boeheim, you cut down the nets and were a national champion in your very first and only year in college basketball. What was that experience like?
Now, I'll tell you what, I never had an opportunity to experience the fan experience because I was playing, and even coming back, this is my first Final Four outside of me playing the game of basketball. So to be able to see this and be around this energy, shout out to Brooklyn over here, to see this type of energy over here and knowing that I played a part in this type of energy, it's amazing. I mean, we were talking about this since 2003. It seems like it was just yesterday for me, but it was 20-something years ago when I was able to come out here and accomplish something as a freshman in a totally different game, different time period, different era than it is today. But being able to bring it back full circle and kind of be here Final Four and see the teams that's out there, I can really be a fan at the same time.
And speaking of fans, you're a fan to your son who's following your footsteps, headed to Syracuse. Kion was just announced as the MVP of the Throne Tournament. What does that feel like for you as a father as you're watching? And like you said, it feels like yesterday you were out there playing, and here he is, a grown man just about, and he's heading off to that special chapter in his life as it was for you.
No, it's full circle. I would say that it's very satisfying to actually be able to go through what I went through and deal with what I deal with on my side, but also him being able to have an opportunity to carve out something new and something fresh in this whole new generation and this whole new era. So what I did was 20-something years ago. But what I can say is that foundation will always remain there. So you have a foundation to go off of. You have something to look back and say, this is how you approach college. This is how you approach the college basketball game. And now it's 2025, man. A lot of things is totally different today. So with him, it's just being able to carve out his own lane, understanding what was created for him to be able to carve out that own lane and then going and do it. So I'm so ready for him to, hopefully next year I'm watching him play at the March Madness. So we'll see what happens.
When you think back to your experience and your relationship with Coach Jim Boeheim, we know Mini Melo, he's there for part of the unveiling, and he's still a part of your life. But he was instrumental because there was a point where you weren't sure if you were going to come back to Syracuse or go to the NBA. But he gave you some very important advice and helped you make one of the biggest decisions of your life.
Well, I like to be honest. I'm a very honest person. And when I'm talking about Jim Boeheim, he gave me some really, really good advice. The advice was, I bet not see you back on this campus. That was the advice, right? So in a sense, when your coach or somebody who's your leader and at the helm of your situation and have the wherewithal to tell his best player, look, I don't care how old you are. There's nothing you can do from a college basketball standpoint anymore. So if you want to go pro, here's your opportunity to go pro. But if you're thinking about coming back, I'm not letting you back on this campus. And that was the conversation. Today, it's a lot different because they actually pushing guys out as a freshman to go on to whatever they want to do. Back then, it was unheard of as a freshman to be pushed out of school and go pursue the NBA. So I like to tell that story. It was great advice. But the advice was, I bet not see you back on this campus. That was advice. It was a statement and advice at the same time.
And a warning as well. And you heeded that warning. And you also think about the selflessness in that moment. He just cut down the nets with you as a national champion. Obviously, he wants to go back and do it again. He knows you could have been a big part of that, but he saw the bigger picture and what a special and unique moment, and the ability for you to continue to share that and talk to people about it. Let's talk about that draft class. You go into that NBA, highly regarded as one of the greatest, if not the greatest draft class of all time. We had one of your fellow members here.
Greatest.
Yeah, the greatest. There we go. There, I like the confidence. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and of course, Carmelo Anthony. You think about that draft class and you look back at it, you guys were teenagers coming in to the association, the next step in your basketball journeys and careers in many different paths. But you all finished the game on top as well. You came out, were as advertised. There was no flops or busts there. It's like those group of guys, talk about your relationship with that core group of guys, and they've eventually, many of them became part of the Banana Boat crew.
So that class 03, we are the best class, by the way.
Absolutely.
03
I agree
class
with
is
you.
the
I was
best
just trying to
class.
be
Whether-
modest there.
Y'all can argue with y'all family if y'all want to, but we the best class over here. But that class, we understood something special about it. We understood that moment and what we was actually about to create. There was a lot of kind of image building and brand building for the NBA at that point in time, and identity, trying to find the identity of what the NBA really was about. And I think us coming in that '03 class gave them an opportunity to say, look, we have star power. We have young guys who's coming in here. They all have their own team. They all have their own situation. They all gonna pave their own way in a sense, even though those guys teamed up on me and left me behind, but that's a whole nother story. But we all understood what was our assignment. Our assignment was to come in, play basketball, do it at a high level, do it the right way, be a professional, lead our teams. Whether you was 18, 19 or not, we was thrown the keys at 19 years old and was told to go carry 4 franchises: Toronto, Miami, Cleveland, and the Denver Nuggets. You don't see that today, where you have to lead this organization. You have to lead this team. You have to lead these players, no matter how old you are. We were 18, 19 years old, being told to go and lead the Denver Nuggets to a championship, go and lead Cleveland, go and lead Toronto, and go and lead Miami. So when you think about the psyche behind that, it's messed up at the end of the day to just throw you out there. But because we understood the assignment, we knew we was ready. We was ready for that moment, which is why I would say '03 is the best draft class.
Completely agree with you. Trust me. And we talk about those relationships and connections, and the Banana Boat crew is a real thing. You traveled together, you stayed together, so many common bonds there. But there was an actual occurrence where you needed one of your Banana Boat brothers to bail you out of a sticky situation, right? And many people may or may not know about it. Take us back to that, because is that true? Because, I mean, LBJ tells a different story. I want to make sure.
No, it was good. I mean, we was on vacation. We was a lot of fun. And you know what happens when you're with your friends on vacation. I don't need to go into the details with that. And I got caught out there in the ocean. I think I was just in my own kind of. I was trying to, center myself and be a part of the nature and the ocean and see what's out there. And I was being exploratory. And it was me against the current, and the current won. And my brother came in and swooped me up, and I'm here today to tell the story.
Absolutely. LBJ to the rescue, right? I mean, that's one of the few one-on-one matches you lost, right? But luckily your teammate was there to bail you out. The last thing we'll talk about before we say hello to all these friends here at AT&T is, while we got the joking going and the laughs going, let's talk about that mini Melo moment. It's a great commercial, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I'm a little biased. But if you look at the dynamic in that commercial, there's several generations. You have your Jim Boeheim there. You got one of your best friends in Dwayne Wade there, and you have your son, Kai, on there. What was that like on that moment to be on set, film that together, and understand that your whole world, talking about full circle, was truly culminating in that moment?
Well, first of all, that wasn't the original commercial. The commercial was something totally different. But the fact that we were able to scramble at the last minute and kind of make it intentional and make it make sense, like you said, having that's generations right there with Coach Boeheim being at the helm, myself, Dwayne, my son Cayenne, having the opportunity to kind of just see what this is like, what this is like being on a set. You know what I mean? I know I'm your father, but at the end of the day, I got a job to do too. So what it's like seeing your father working in a real work environment and being professional and understanding what he's doing and what it what it means to sit next to Boeheim on the set and get that knowledge from somebody who's been doing it for a long time, and D Wade. It's just the environment that we actually kind of created on that set. Even though D Wade wasn't there, they added him in like post. We accept him in it, but just the fact that you're able to get that acknowledgement and get that knowledge and that science of just like what it takes to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talking about a mini mellow. Like I've never. I'm, Mini mellow like little penny to me. Like it's like you know what I mean. Like that's how I'm looking at this. It's fun.
Absolutely.
It's engaging. It's fan experiences, but it means something much more at the end of the day because of the work that we actually put in, of how intentional we are with who we are as who I am as a person, what I am as a brand, what I speak for, what I stand for. That right there is just that's a small statue, but it's a great testament into the amount of work that I was able to actually put in and grind and enjoy the journeys.
All right, last question. What's the go-to Mellow order? If we go to Moe's Seafood and Pasta, we take it back to Be More. After a hard day at the Dome, what are you getting at Moe's?
I'm getting the stuffed salmon imperial with the crab cake on the inside.
All right, I know you're hungry. The fans are hungry. They're going to get to say hello to you, take a photo. Give it up one more time.
Thank you guys.
Three-time gold medalist, 10-time NBA All-Star, and more importantly, a great guy off the court, Carmelo Anthony.